You're calling from an 832 area code. Who's this?
Robert Tidwell from the I-4 corridor.
Hi, Robert. How are you?
Maybe Hurricane Alley today.
Yeah. What's it looking like down there?
I'm closer to Tampa, so it's fine. It'll probably be tropical storm stuff.
Okay. Well, as long as you're fine.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to make a comment about yesterday about the whole healthcare discussion and the single payer option, all that. Or not, I'm sorry, the Medicare option. So I did some consulting in the healthcare industry at the time that Obamacare came into effect. And the amount of misunderstanding about how markets work in a capitalist society is astounding. So Obamacare, and I'm not telling you anything, but Obamacare is effectively just rules of how this marketplace will function. And then you throw in some subsidies for people who can't afford the product sold in the marketplace. Right?
And the expansion of Medicaid. But in terms of outside of Medicaid,
exactly.
Yes, it's just basically setting up, literally a website and rules for, it's a series of regulations. Right. Okay.
That's exactly. And regulations are nothing more than rules about how a marketplace functions. Set up by the government, usually to protect consumers, but sometimes to benefit businesses as well. Anyway, but the idea that putting people on Medicare will somehow hurt insurance companies is crazy. So insurance companies have multiple lines of business. They have group insurance, which is basically what they sell to businesses for their employees. They have individual insurance, which is fundamentally what Obamacare set up with the websites, the individual marketplace. And then they have Medicare, and they run Medicare insurance. And so if you're an employee of a company and you have insurance under them and you leave them, then you get insurance under the individual. If you stay with the same insurance company, you just move to a different line. And then if you turn 65 and get Medicare and you stay with the same insurance company, you just moved over to their Medicare line. Because fundamentally, they run the insurance for Medicare.
Their profit margin, the profit margin though on Medicare is, I would imagine, is less. And I don't know for sure, but with Obamacare, they can only make their profit went down anyway on all lines. There's an 80-20. According to Obamacare, you need to have, you can 80% of your revenue must be actually spent on providing funds. Distribution funds. Now, the one thing I will say about this, my understanding in talking to people is that in many instances, what the insurance companies have been doing and are doing and look to do is to minimize what they actually provide with their insurance and then have add-ons. Now, but there is under the Obamacare a basic minimum standard of what constitutes insurance. Literally, it's just a definition. Insurance, you can't just call something health insurance. You can't just label it health insurance. It actually has to include certain things. So they're trying to sort of spin off certain things, exclude certain drugs, et cetera, et cetera. But in the main...
Yeah, trying to get around the rules.
Right.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing that people might not know is that health insurance companies have a cost to manage a customer. And that cost is what they call a per person per day cost, right? And it can range anywhere from $18 a person per day up to $36 a person per day, depending on the insurance company. So some are really, really efficient and some are really inefficient, which accounts for some of the price disparities you see in the product.
Right.
But anyway, that's all I had.
All right. Appreciate the call, Robert. Hey, folks, Sam Seder here. I just got back from a company-wide meeting. Accounting is really coming down on me hard. We need to get to 100,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So please enjoy this channel. Subscribe right down there.